Hey, what's up? It's your boy Chrysalis here. I forgot to mention this in this video, so I'm putting this here real quick. There's still another video that I worked on in July that I'm still sitting on. That should be either the next upload or the upload after the next upload. Just letting you know. I also ended up watching a lot of movies in this month of August. So the next roundup update video that I'm going to be doing, I probably won't be covering everything I watched in August, but I'll just probably cover up to a certain point and then move on to whatever my subject for that video ends up being. So, yep, that's about it. Enjoy me talking about stuff and movies and things. What's up, guys? It's your boy Chrysalis here, and this is going to be a quick video, hopefully, since I'm about to go to the movies to catch Black Swan in IMAX. So this is going to be a sort of a roundup journal entry video, but just for everything that I watched in the remainder of the month of July. Which, funny enough, ended up not being a whole lot since I didn't watch a whole lot of movies throughout the remainder of July since my last update. So this one will be pretty quick. I also want to cover the new Marty Supreme trailer that dropped a few days ago, or a week or two ago. Marty Supreme, if you're not in the know, is the latest film from distributor or whatever, A24. It is directed by Josh Safdie and has quite the interesting cast consisting of Timothée Chalamet, Gwyneth Paltrow, Tyler the Creator, Kevin O'Leary, Fran Drescher, and a few other people. But like I said, before I get into that, I'm going to go ahead and cover the, looks like maybe 10 or so movies that I watched from July the 10th all the way to the 29th of July. I also want to apologize for the lack of activity on my end. I just had a lot going on lately with going on vacation with my girlfriend and her family. I have a lot of other stuff going on in August. I'm also kind of in the process of moving at some point, so yeah, that's the basic gist of it. But basically, as far as like an update or whatever on the channel, I'm just not going to stress it. I'm just going to work on these videos when I can and upload when I can, so apologies, but I am asking for patience at this moment in time. Otherwise, I'm going to end up getting burnt out on doing this and just not want to do it anymore for however long, and then next thing you know, my interest shifted once again. Anyhow, with that out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and cover all that I watched. Again, this is going to be pretty quick. As far as movies that I watched in theaters, I had the opportunity to watch Superman 3 times on opening weekend. So the first time I saw it was on my birthday, July the 10th, in a Dolby Atmos format, since the IMAX showtimes were not going to line up with my schedule that day, but nevertheless, I thought it was great. And the following 2 times I've watched in IMAX, but the first time I saw it in IMAX, I mainly wanted to see the Odyssey trailer on the IMAX screen, and that didn't happen because they kind of ended up showing the previews a little too late for whatever reason, and they messed up. So later that same day, I saw it again. Never did that for a movie, by the way, which is a testament into A, my persistence in wanting to see the Odyssey trailer on an IMAX screen, and B, how really good Superman was, in my humble opinion. But yeah, Superman was great. It's very funny to me that people once again doubted James Gunn when it comes to superhero movies. The man blessed us with the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy, and he also gave us a good Suicide Squad, so I don't know where the doubt was supposed to be. The one in front of the gun lives forever, as they say. Or at least that's what one of the hashtags I saw said. I think David Corenswet is excellent as Superman. Love Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. Just an overall stellar cast, just a lot of great acting, and I really dug a lot of the special effects and just how human and Midwestern James Gunn decided to approach our titular superhero. I also rewatched 28 Years Later. The movie got better for me on rewatch, but it's, you know, I still feel about the same about it. It's still fantastic. It's still a must-watch for the year. Just not quite like 5 stars out of 5 for me. Not really that much for me to say apart from that, but I did notice on my second watch how stellar and absolutely visceral a lot of the cinematography and editing was. Like, once I understood, like, you know, what happens from beginning to end, I can kind of appreciate everything else about it. Since a lot of times when I watch a movie for the first time, I just experience it, not really focusing on one thing or another, just experiencing it. I also got to watch Ari Aster's Eddington, which was, in my opinion, great. I really wanted to do a video for Eddington, but unfortunately there weren't any theaters after I watched it the first time that were showing it at a reasonable time close to me, so alas. Eddington to me feels like the definition of a polarizing release, which means Ari Aster put out a new movie. And this one in particular, I think, could potentially be his best movie to date. I think he did an excellent job at giving us a portrait of what the summer of 2020 was like, and a lot of what all that did to us as a society. I can't really think of anything, at least for me personally, I can't really think of anything too overtly negative about the movie, aside from it just isn't a perfect movie. And the final movie that I got to watch in theaters was Oh Hi. Oh Hi is a movie directed by Sophie Brooks. I believe this is like her directorial debut, if I'm not mistaken. That stars Molly Gordon and Logan Lerman. Molly Gordon, best known from the TV series The Bear, if I'm not mistaken. And Logan Lerman's been in quite a few movies previous to this one. I think he was like Percy Jackson in the Percy Jackson movies. I thought it was pretty good. I think there ended up being like a lot of potential for this movie, and unfortunately it just didn't like fully flesh out like the more that it wanted to do, in my opinion. I'd say it's still a pretty solid romantic comedy of sorts, and if it ends up hitting digital at some point, you should definitely give it a try. But anyhow, yeah, that's all the movies I got to watch in theaters. As far as just streaming from home, I watched 2001: A Space Odyssey for the first time, and nothing else to say except that Stanley Kubrick is a fucking genius. The more and more I explore of Stanley Kubrick's filmography, I'm pretty late on it, the more I am convinced that people are not just over-exaggerating when they say that he was one of the GOATs, if not the GOAT in terms of filmmaking. But yeah, they probably got that right. 2001: A Space Odyssey is not just an invigorating movie, but it also feels like a solid 2 or so hours of how the heck did Stanley Kubrick do that? Like, how did Stanley Kubrick in the mid-60s or whenever it is he filmed the movie do that? And after I finished watching it, it just became more apparent how many movies have either tried to be this movie or emulated and got a lot of their ideas from this movie. Yeah, 2001: A Space Odyssey kills. It's just so killer. I don't really have any words other than that. I feel roughly the opposite for the next movie I watched, Beau is Afraid. So in my quest in trying to get caught up on Ari Aster's movies, Beau is Afraid was my only blind spot. And unfortunately, Beau is Afraid was not great. I think there ended up being like a lot of things that Ari Aster wanted to do with that movie, but the short of it is he just was not able to justify its 3-hour runtime. That's right, it's 3-hour runtime. It is so long. It's like roughly the same length as Midsummer's director's cut. I think Joaquin Phoenix was great in the movie. I think there's like slivers of excellence here and there, but overall it just didn't fully coalesce into a great experience in terms of, you know, being a movie. Just out of nowhere, I also watched Sing. Sing is the animated film from Illumination, probably one of the better ones in my opinion, but it's not saying a whole lot. If nothing else, I did learn that Taron Egerton, as the gorilla in the movie, the gorilla that's a son, his singing of I'm Still Standing by Elton John was what landed him the role of Elton John in Rocket Man. So if nothing else, we have Sing to thank for that. I don't have much to say other than that. It's a neat animated movie from Illumination. Again, one of the better ones that aren't like the first couple of Despicable Me's or, in my opinion, the Mario movie. I thought the Mario movie was really good. Illumination in general is more or less just not my cup of tea. Also not my cup of tea was the sequel to Happy Gilmore 2. Don't you hate it when you watch a movie and it self-references the movie before it every 5 minutes? It's like, oh, do you remember this character? Well, here is the son of that character because the original actor for that character died. Oh, do you remember this character? Well, it's this character, except he grew up. Every 5 minutes, it was like some kind of flashback, as though we just don't remember enough about the movie before it. I mean, everyone's seen Happy Gilmore. We don't need like a flashback for us to just to verify that we, the audience, know who this character is or whatever. Add to that, the humor just quite wasn't there. The story ended up being all over the place. It just was dumb. And not dumb in like a endearing 90s Adam Sandler or early 2000s Adam Sandler kind of way, but just dumb. As soon as I got through the first quarter of the film, I was just like, well, you know, I didn't really expect this movie to be all that great to begin with, so it is what it is. And the final movie that I watched in July was One Car Wise 2046, but I think I more or less covered how I felt in the video previous to this one, which I procrastinated the hell out of. But my thoughts on that are, if you have not watched the previous video, great movie, just not as good of a follow-up to In the Mood for Love as it ought to have been. Yep, that's everything that I watched. I still got some time, so I'm going to go ahead and talk about the Marty Supreme trailer. So like I mentioned before, Marty Supreme is the latest film from Josh Safdie, one half of the Safdie brothers. His brother Benny is making, or at least he made, The Smashing Machine, which is coming out, I believe, in early October. The Smashing Machine being about a famous UFC boxer whose name I'm blanking on, but as played by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And if that movie is good and Dwayne Johnson absolutely kills that role, we are looking at the possibility of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson being nominated for an Academy Award for Best Actor. And one of the people that he will run against would be Timothée Chalamet for Marty Supreme. Overall, it was just a great trailer. It was just a wonderful trailer. It just looks like, to me, a Safdie film. It looks like it's going to be unhinged. It looks like it's going to be funny. It looks like it's going to be all over the place. Cast is just about as random as I would expect in a Safdie brothers movie, or like at least one half of the Safdie brothers or whatever. If you don't know, the Safdie brothers made a movie with Adam Sandler in it called Uncut Gems, whose cast was all over the place as well. It had, you know, Adam Sandler, it had Lakeith Stanfield, Kevin Durant playing himself, The Weeknd playing himself. It also had Idina Menzel in it, and a few other actors as well. Marty Supreme is no different. Like I mentioned previously, it has Chalamet, it's got Gwyneth Paltrow, it's got Tyler the Creator, Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank, a name who has triggered a lot of people who watched the trailer because Kevin O'Leary is essentially a MAGA person. He's a Trump supporter. We here on the Chrysalis channel do not condone the Trump administration. We do not support in any shape or form the Make America Great Again movement. So if that's something you are, then I would recommend unsubscribing and watching something else, because I probably don't like you as a person. But as it is, just looking at it from a neutral standpoint, it feels like pretty good casting to me, because from when I was looking at the trailer, Kevin O'Leary is playing a controlling villain, which to me, seems pretty on point for Kevin O'Leary as a person, even if he doesn't really have a whole lot in terms of acting experience from what I understand. But as much as I am looking forward to Timothée Chalamet just knocking it out of the park again on this holiday season like he did the past holiday season as well as the holiday season before it, I'm very excited to see what Tyler the Creator is going to do as an actor. Listen, Goblin came out when I was in high school. I was a senior in high school when Tyler the Creator was making the rounds and stirring up a lot of controversy as a rapper. If you were to have built a time machine and came up to me and said, hey, Tyler the Creator is going to be in a movie that's probably going to get nominated for Best Picture, I would have thought you were fucking insane. But yeah, overall, I'm just very curious as to what Tyler the Creator is going to give us when we watch the movie, as well as the rest of the crew as well, like Gwyneth Paltrow, Fran Drescher, who I believe is playing Timothée Chalamet's mother in the movie. And there's also one other actress whose name I'm blanking on. It was like Odessa something. Let me double check that real quick. While I'm looking it up though, shout out to not just whoever made the trailer for making a really good trailer, but also the casting person that cast Fran Drescher in this movie, because that ended up being what convinced my girlfriend to want to see the movie with me. Kudos to you. Yeah, Odessa Azion, sorry if I butchered her name. She hasn't really been in a whole lot that I'm super familiar with. She was in the Until Dawn adaptation, which wasn't very good as I understand it. Dang, I thought she was in a TV show I know. Oh well. She's also had some other roles here and there as well, but nothing quite like this. Nothing quite like a movie starring Timothée Chalamet from one of the Safdie brothers. So I'm looking forward to her performance as well. Like I said, I'm looking forward to how everyone else is going to do in that movie. And I just think it's a unique concept, and I'm just really excited for it. I don't know how many times I say it, I'm very excited for it. Is it raining? I'm pretty short on time, so I wish I could talk about more, but the premise of a professional ping pong player just going absolutely nuts and everything, why are you falling over, is definitely a concept that will definitely get my attention. And hopefully A24 put this movie out in theaters everywhere, not just, New York and California like they did with The Brutalist. They kind of don't really need to do that considering Timothée Chalamet's star power in the film, and as well as just Timothée Chalamet's star power period. We are actually looking at one of the GOATs, an actual, honest to God, 21st century movie star when it comes to Timothée Chalamet. And if you haven't seen that yet, it's time to open your eyes. But yeah, that's about it. What did you think of any of the movies that I saw throughout the remainder of July that I didn't quite cover in the last video or the video before the last? And what do you think of Marty Supreme? Are you excited to watch it? Are you one of those people that are going to boycott it because of the presence of Kevin O'Leary, which, valid. And yeah, that's about it. If you enjoyed my video, go ahead and hit like and subscribe and ring the bell and all that good stuff. Gotta say it because the algorithm likes it sometimes. And yeah, that's about it. This is your boy Crystal's here, signing off.